Hi, and welcome to this episode of TV Toastmasters. My name is Bill Maher. I'll be your host for this evening. I'm a member of the New Horizons Toastmaster Club in Tualatin, Oregon, as well as TV Toastmasters. We have guests come each month, and this is very special because we are upon the holiday season. I have a couple of guests with me this evening who will help us understand Christmas from very different parts of the world. We look forward to welcoming Kaija, who will help us to understand some Nordic traditions of the Christmas season, and Pastor Barnabas from Cambodia, as well as other places around the world, to see how he and his people celebrate the Christmas holiday.
Hello, my name is Beth Genley. I became acquainted with TV Toastmasters. I got interviewed here a few times and began to learn how to speak to a camera and how different that is from speaking to a group, how to connect with an audience that I can't see, and how to stay focused on a camera that is not talking back to me or smiling. After I did that a few times, I was invited to become an associate producer here, and now I'm bringing people from my club and other interesting people to TV Toastmasters each month and finding out wonderful stories and fantastic individuals who are contributing a great deal to our community. It's been a great ride. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the next year will bring as TV Toastmasters continues to be the voice for District 7.
Thank you very much for both of you joining us this evening.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for having us.
I am so glad. This is so wonderful for me. I want to ask you a question to kind of get things started, and Kaija, I'll start with you. I want to come and participate in the tradition that you have, and you were Lucia.
I was a Lucia,
Yes.
hence the white
Hence
gown.
the white gown and
yes,
the crown.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that and what I might experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was the Santa Lucia of Oregon in 2010. We have a local organization called Nordic Northwest, and they hold a scholarship program for young girls growing up in high school of Nordic background. And just to make sure that everyone's clear what the Nordic countries are, we consider them Denmark, Iceland, Finland, Sweden, and Norway. Did I already say Norway?
That's okay.
And so anyone from that background, any young woman from that background can participate, and they have to go through a rigorous interview process, and ultimately a panel of judges decides who is the Lucia, and they end up getting a scholarship when they go off to university. So the tradition of Lucia is founded in a woman who came and served food to starving people during snowing times and really cold weather. And Nordic Northwest has kind of taken that tradition and made it locally relevant. So yes, I was Lucia one year and still bring out my crown at least once a year, as you can see. And the story goes that she came in with a crown of candles to light the way and feed the people in the cities that were starving. So that's a little bit about Lucia.
Excellent. Do a lot of people participate in that celebration?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's, you could equate it to the Miss USA pageant over in
Wow.
Sweden. It's that big. And so back when Lucia started in the Portland area, they actually used to send women all the way over to Sweden from this area to be able to participate in the festival. But right now the board can only accept 7 applicants locally, so they choose the top 7 applicants and then they enter the interview process for the scholarship.
Interesting. That's awesome. That's a wonderful way to help celebrate that on many different levels. Pastor Barnabas, welcome. I don't know if I should ask you where you celebrate your Christmas holiday as a Cambodian pastor, or what would be the most significant part of how you celebrate the Christmas holiday.
Christianity is new to Cambodia because during the killing field, the time that the communists ruled over the nation for 4 years, there was no religious practice. But the Constitution guaranteed freedom of faith only until 1993. This is why I said new. So it's not a tradition, it's just a new culture to celebrate Christmas. So Christmas for us is more like a celebration. a time that it starts from the 1st of December and it may end on the 6th of January. So it's a real season. Why? Because of the exponential growth of the church, a lot of no church, and then the lack of the preacher.
Yes.
Yeah. So they choose one of the day from the 1st of December to the 6th of January. And for me, if you happen to visit Cambodia, you got to follow me either 1 week at least.
For a whole week?
Yeah, for one Christmas preaching, Christmas tour, you know?
Oh my
So
gosh,
for me, 5 weeks of Christmas tour. So what would we do? And in a week, we can visit a new tribe, a mountain tribe that, that they also believe in Jesus. Then you may visit one school or elementary school or middle school.
Wow.
Or you may visit a new village or a town. For us, more rural village than the city,
Sure.
25% urban, 75% rural.
Yeah.
Or you may visit a military base to celebrate Christmas with the believers among the soldiers, among the officers.
Yes.
Or you may be invited to visit a prison to celebrate Christmas with the prisoners. And what can we do? 3 things. Number 1, a time to enjoy good food.
Oh, yes.
What is the good food? Chicken red curry. A little bit hot and spicy with the French baguette or Cambodian noodle. It's different from the Chinese or the Vietnamese noodle,
Okay,
it
sure.
goes very well with the chicken red curry. That's the time to enjoy this kind of food.
Right.
And number 2 is also the time for us because Christmas is right in time of the harvest. The weather is so nice, the best weather of the year. No snow at all. So when we say snow, the Cambodian people don't understand what snow is all about. But it's cool, from November to January. So it's a time for us to give gift.
Okay.
So we reflect the love of Christ. We by showing the gift from the church or from Christian family to others. So we visit the prisoner, we got to give gift to the prisoners. Or give gift to the people on the army bases, or give to the people in the new tribe that we are going to be with them. A time to give gift. And then number 3 is the time to share the gospel. I'm an evangelist. Wherever I go, I'm always asked to share the gospel.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes. That is amazing to have such a variety. And Cambodia is a more tropical climate.
Yes, tropical,
yes.
Hot and dry.
Hot and dry.
Yes.
Oh, interesting combination.
Yeah.
And it's a season. It's a whole
the harvest season.
Yes.
The people grow rice, So the harvest of the rice. Yeah.
So there's a tradition among both of you, and my tradition as well, during that time to give gifts, and how that is an expression of what we want to give one another. I mean, I grew up in the Episcopal Church, a Christian denomination here in the United States, and very close to the Catholic. And that was a big part of growing up. Of course, I liked receiving the gifts sometimes, and giving was okay, but receiving was really nice as well. But also understanding what that meant by our faith and by what our community wants to express and have a legacy that brings on. So Kaija, I want to talk a little bit more about your Lucia experience and what kind of legacy would that want to continue on?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the scholarship program for me was such an amazing way to meet other phenomenal women of Nordic descent around the Portland area, and it continues to be a super successful program in a way of bringing women in and making them a part of this community that is so still locally relevant for us, but we get to really celebrate our culture. I personally am from Finnish and Norwegian descent, whereas the Lucia tradition was really based in Sweden. So here locally in Portland, we've had the chance to expand the aperture to all the Nordic countries to celebrate that. And it is really like leaving that legacy of being able to celebrate our culture no matter where we live.
Culture, absolutely important part of who we are and our identity, and to be able to share that. And I guess a legacy would be a good word for what you want to leave. You're still new.
Yeah.
Tell me what kind of legacy you want?
It depends on the age group of the people, you know. If we are to celebrate Christmas with high schoolers, soccer match,
Yes.
soccer, associate football, the gift, give them the ball,
That's
you know,
true, yes.
the uniforms, you know, different colors,
Yeah.
and then sponsor their match in the morning, and invited them for the evening concert and with the preaching, and they will remember this is the best Christmas gift ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the you know, the elementary school children, picture books
Oh.
with colors, because they don't have many books to read. They don't have many color books to paint, you know. Give them book that teach them about basic hygiene, basic, you know, healthcare, something like that, you know, with toothbrush, with toothpaste, then tell story to the children. Hundreds of them come and listen to the story. So the gift, they will remember, you know, wow, I have books to read. And they will share. One book would be shared by 4 or 5 other kids, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
And for the prisoners, wow, a towel, or we call it kroma, traditional Cambodian towel, a multi-purpose one that they can use as a blanket at night, you know, or towel when they take a bath, and also instant noodle, you know, that they can that they can cook by themselves anytime they like to.
Yes.
And plus a ball of soap,
Okay.
you know, the soap powder, so that they can wash their cloth, you know, and salt. Yeah.
Wow. That's exciting. So Kaija, as you were growing up, you grew up in that tradition, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as you experienced it, what were the joys that you had as a child looking at that holiday season?
Oh yes, absolutely. I can smell it and I can taste it. It smells like cardamom. Baking lefse with my mom in the kitchen. Being able to listen to my relatives speaking Finnish in the background while they're cooking the mashed potatoes. It consisted of a lot of food, a lot of drinks, and a lot of fun with some Finnish polka in the background, music, and always kicked off the holiday season with by attending Scan Fair. So Scan Fair is also a local event hosted by Nordic Northwest, and it is the most fun way to get involved in Scandinavian tradition around the Portland area. And the holiday season is really the time that the Nordic countries shine and that they celebrate. And it's a great way. It's usually the first full weekend of December. And so it's a great way every holiday season to get into the holiday spirit.
Yes, to get started and get going. You had a very interesting childhood. And I want to mention the book that you brought, The Church Behind the Wire and the Killing Fields, that very much shaped who you are today. And I would like you to speak a little bit to that, if you could.
I was born in a very devout Buddhist family. My dad had been a Buddhist monk for 14 years before he got married.
Oh.
And my mom was a devout Buddhist, you know, we call it Buddhist faithful or Buddhist subject, since she was 14. And for a Buddhist, to kill a fish was one of the big sins.
Oh.
So I did not know how to catch a fish at all. You know, so when I went through the killing field as one of the youngest prisoners in my concentration camp, there were 300 prisoners. I pray, even ask the Lord, teach me to catch the fish, or else I could not have anything to eat. You know.
Sure.
And then, so I grew up in the Buddhist family. Then my parents sent me to live in the Buddhist temple, Buddhist monastery in Phnom Penh under the guardianship, the tutorship of my own uncle, until the age of 19. Then I joined the communists for a few years. You know?
Oh my gosh, you've been all over the place.
Young men try something even crazy thing, something new, something ideal, you know, something that we believe that it was the solution for social justice, social equality.
Yes.
But then I was sent by my communist leader to spy on a gospel meeting back in April 1972. So they sent me to the wrong place, according to the communists, because I heard the story of the prodigal son. Then somehow the Spirit convicted me that it was like myself. You know? And the preacher was from America, Dr. Stanley Mooneyham of World Vision International.
Okay, sure.
And he gave a very good conclusion. He said, you, the Cambodian, you may think that if you believe in Jesus Christ, you may, be converted from a religion, your own religion, to a Western religion. And he said, no, Jesus was not born in America. He was not born in he was born in Asia. And he said, the story that I told, if you believe in Jesus, then you are returning home to be with your loving and caring Father. That's the most, the most heart-convincing, heart-touching comment that he gave.
Interesting, yeah.
Then I decided to accept Jesus at the age of 22.
22?
Yeah.
Wow. It's an amazing story, and to have experienced the killing fields and how that impacted your life. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that with us. That was absolutely wonderful. Wow. That's why I really enjoy doing interviews like this. You get to meet people from around the world in new ways, and I'm just always fascinated about how our faith leads us in particular manners and particular ways to enjoy different people in different parts of the world. And Kaija, you had mentioned how when you wore Lucia, you got a chance to go about and meet people and do some things you probably otherwise would not have been able to do.
Yeah.
Can you share with us one significant experience you had during the year that you were Lucia?
Oh, absolutely. I think my favorite experience, and you can see the crown of candles.
Crown, yes.
Every time we would go, and it was me and my Lucia court, so I had other dressed women around me, and we would go and we did one service on Christmas Eve, and it was during the evening, and it was actually a candlelight service. And so everyone in the audience had candles lit with them, and then I walked down with my candles, tried not to drip any wax anywhere, but it was just the most beautiful thing with music in the background, and just celebrated, Christmas Eve and being with loved ones and being in the beautiful candlelight all around. So that's probably one of my most special, significant memories from my time as Lucia.
It sounds like a really wonderful situation and ambiance and environment to be able to enjoy the season and that's wonderful. Thank you. Are you looking forward to any particular events coming up this holiday season?
Yes.
You must have many, but pick one.
I still love to be youthful. So to be youthful means to stay connected with the young people, and so that we can celebrate Christmas together with the young people,
Yes.
And for them, I cannot bring the Bible along. I just take with me my smartphone, and I would ask them, how many who are iPhone user, would you lift up your iPhone? And then to my surprise, half of the Cambodian young people, they love iPhone. And then who are Galaxy, Samsung, the Android, and then the rest. And then they ask, guess what would I use? And they try to guess. This is how I relate to the young people. And then I lift up my phone, it's Samsung Galaxy. And then let us read a passage from the Bible.
There you go.
This is how I relate to the young people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do not call me Pastor Barnabas, they just call me Grandpa Barnabas. And I love that.
There you go.
Yeah, because, after all my children got married, nobody called me uncle. Because they grow together with my grandchildren. Then they started calling me Grandpa Barnabas.
How wonderful. A strong connection.
It sounds like there is a bond between us. So I love to say that Christmas celebration in Cambodia is more communal, while Christmas here is more family, more personal.
Okay,
you celebrate on the 25th just among your own family members, family reunion.
Yes.
Just how Christmas celebrated none of us. But in the East, is more communal. We make Christ known, you know. We show the love of Christ to the community.
That's a very good differentiation. I appreciate that. Because you spend a fair amount of time in the United States.
I used to come twice a year, and each one 45 days, so 3 months a year.
Yes.
But now I broke the tradition.
Uh-oh.
Probably 5 months a year, because more and more Cambodian churches, like my host, my friend Noon,
yes,
since he got to know me, he introduced me to more Cambodian churches in different states in the United States, you know.
yes.
So now I know that I am also needed, not just by the Cambodian in the other part of the world in Cambodia, but also by the Cambodian diaspora in America.
Yes. And kind of for the extended family community aspect, would you say that is a little different than what we would consider the traditional American? How big would you consider your family through the Lucia and through the Nordic Northwest?
Oh, I think in the Portland area, the community here is amazing, you know, for anyone of Nordic descent, and it's so amazing to be able to go to a place that's such a scan fair or the Nordia house and be able to automatically feel welcomed based on your likeness with each other, and despite not even, maybe I'm from Finland and my friend's from Iceland, but you know, we all celebrate being from Nordic tradition and latch on to that. And so it is really like a big family, especially since Christmas time is such a joyous time of the year.
Yes, very, very true. I want to thank both of you for spending some time and sharing your different experiences from both locally and around the world. This is just so amazing to me, and how you connect with community and family and so many different people in so many different ways. Thank you very much for
You're very welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having me from Asia.
From Asia. I hope that you enjoyed our little discussion tonight. I know that I did. When I think about the holidays and I think about how that really does inspire us to think about our faith, we focused a lot on the Christian faith this evening, but there's so many other ways that our own personal faiths in whatever deity or God or supreme being we may believe in is really called to us in a special way during this holiday season. And I encourage you to think about how not only you used to and maybe currently experience that kind of faith and that kind of community, to really engage with that, but also engage that with other people so that you can broaden those horizons and see just how strong that aspect of our world that's larger than us becomes so apparent during the holiday season. I appreciate my guests this evening. I appreciate being able to speak with them and learn from them. And I want to bring it back also to how to extend that out a little bit. We are a Toastmasters group, and we want to make sure that that is something that we all understand. And while Toastmasters isn't a faith-based community, it is a community. And it's a community where people draw together and help us to be better at who we are and what we do. If you're looking for a way to connect with other people in a unique way, if you're looking for a way to feel more comfortable in your speaking, if you're looking for a way to encourage and strengthen your leadership skills, I encourage you to search out toastmastersinternational.org, find a club near you, give it a try. Thank you for joining us. Again, my name is Bill Maher from New Horizons Toastmasters and TV Toastmasters. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Hi, I'm Eric Bergman. As a member of TV Toastmasters, I get to learn all about video production, running a TV show. Plus, I get to be on camera interviewing really fascinating Toastmasters who share their stories about their hobbies, their activities, and how they benefit our community. I also get to bring in members of my home Toastmasters club. We toasted in Lake Oswego. They get to tell their stories and build their communication skills. We're bringing a voice for District 7 Toastmasters here in Oregon and Southwest Washington to a TV audience. And TV Toastmasters is a great way to learn how to spread your message and share your stories with a wider audience.